Hello, I'm Will. I'm here with Mike. We are the Tabletop Donkeys.
Hello.
And we're bringing you issue 23 of Warhammer Age of Sigmar Mortal Realms today. With this issue, we got 4 Stormcast Eternals Liberators and 1 Prosecutor, which is a single sprue from what's available in the Thunderstrike Brotherhood box set. As always, if you want to skip straight ahead to the battle report, there's a timecode in the description. Having a look inside the issue, we start off with some information about Liberators. These are the most numerous warriors in a Stormcast Stormhost. They're basically the line infantry, typically equipped with shields and hammers, but they have a variety of weapon options. They can have swords, twin hand weapons, and some of them can carry large two-handed weapons as well. And they tend to fight in a sort of shield wall formation where each warrior can fight alongside his fellows. And then information about prosecutors. These are angelic figures within the Stormhost. They have sort of wings of light and they can fly around. Again, they have a selection of weapons they use, but they simply raise their hands and the weapons made of pure celestial energy appear in them, and then they can hurl them, whether it be javelins or hammers or tridents at their foes. And there is a description of some of their war gear here, some of their heraldry and armour. And then we have a continuation of Bones and Blood, the in-universe book by Tyrus von Stadt, describing the various undead inhabitants of the Mortal Realms. This section is about zombies, where basically resurrected corpses known by various names, including dead walkers in the Mortal Realms. And on the reverse, some things about necromancers who tend to summon these creatures, dire wolves, which are canine zombies, and corpse carts, which emanate foul energies that invigorate nearby undead. Then we have our build instructions for the Liberators and Prosecutor. These all go together fairly easily, but they're not pushed together miniatures. Only have one pose each for the Liberators. And then over the page, the Prosecutor, who does have a variant build. Eventually we will get 2 of this model, and it can have different arrangement of his 2 arms so that they're slightly distinguishable. And then how to paint the Liberators and Prosecutor. This is just the standard Stormcast paint scheme that we've been used to by now. So starting with gold with a wash and a dry brush. Adding Corax white for the wings on the Prosecutor, Cantor blue, Abaddon black, lead belcher for the silver areas, corn red, and then Rakarth flesh for parchment, particularly on the Prosecutor, who has long parchment trails behind him. And compared to the Sacrosanct Chamber units we've got so far, these models have much less in the way of robes, so there's more of the gold armour is visible. And there's the finished models there. But with that, we'll be on to our game for this episode.
So before we get into our playthrough for this issue, we need to look at the war scrolls for our new unit. So first up we have the Liberators. So they have a similar stat line to Secretors. They only hit on 4s normally, but you can see they have an ability that gives them +1 to hit against models with a wounds characteristic of 5, so that's models that start with 5 or more wounds. It mentions the Liberator Prime getting an extra attack. None of the models we get are actually the Liberator Prime, and they have the Sigmarite shield, so they can reroll save rolls of 1 like Secretors can. And here he just explains some of their abilities, clarifies all the shields and that sort of thing. And here are the Prosecutors, similar stat line again, simply can move 12 inches, and they can fly as well. He can throw his hammers and fight with them in melee, and they can reroll hit rolls of 1 with their hammers, and they can charge from 18 inches away and roll 3d6, regardless of how far away they are. So potential for some very long charges. It also again mentions the Prime gets an extra attack. This chap's just a regular member of the unit. And again, just clarifying all their abilities. And then we have the Glabrate Stalkers, and I think some of these abilities we've seen so far, like the Point of Death, where they can reroll hit rolls when they're attacking a unit that charged, or they have charged. I think we have seen the Deathbeat Drummer as well, but this is just putting this all in one place. So the Deathbeat Drummer allows them to retreat and charge in the same turn. And once again, have the little tutorials showing how those abilities work. And now we can get on to our playthrough for this issue, and a little narrative here. Basically, the Liberators and the Prosecutor have arrived at the edge of the Heartwood coast, and I'm meeting with Xandria Azurebolt, and she's telling them to go into the forest to help the Knight-Questor. And that's exactly what's going to happen in our game. You can see we've got the new Liberators and the Prosecutor. We've met up with the Night-Questor and are going to fight some more Nighthaunt, a Dreadblade, 10 Chainrafts, and 4 Glaive Wraiths. For setup, it's basically the same as last time. We alternate starting with the Stormcast player, same usual deployment zones and all that. And the Nighthaunt get to go first, and then we keep going until one side has run out of models. We'll just go straight into the game. So we've set up for the Arcane Ruin. Over here on the left we have the 4 Liberators with the Prosecutor behind them and the Night-Questor just to their left. And over on the right we have the Glabrate Stalkers in the bottom, then the Chainrafts, then the Dreadblades. So the Nighthaunt get to go first, so I'll get on with my turn. So I gain a command point, and in my movement phase the Chain Rasps are going to run. They get to go an extra 2, and the Glaive Roast might as well run as well. They get to go an extra 5. So there, I've just moved up everyone 8 inches, and then the Dreadblade just going to follow on behind so that he gets the benefit of Lookout, so in case the Prosecutor decides to throw hammers at him. But with all that over, it's on to the Stormcast turn.
So in my turn I gain command point in the hero phase, and then we're just going to move up ever so slightly. The Prosecutor is in 18-inch range of both the Chain Rasps and the Glaive Ray Stalkers. So when the shooting phase he will throw some hammers at the Glaive Ray Stalkers, I suppose. He has 2 shots with his hammers, hitting on 4s and wounding on 4s, rerolling 1s to hit.
Yeah.
Double 3 is 2 misses. But that's it for my turn, I can't do anything else.
So that's the end of the battle round, so we'll be rolling off for the start of the next one. Rolling off for first turn. I got a 5, and you got a 3. So I think I'll go first for this battle round, and obviously I'll gain a command point and go up to 2. So I'm not actually going to move my full distance. If I did, I could charge, but it'd be an 11 or a 12 to get anything into range, so we're only going to move up a few inches, hopefully make any charge from the Stormcast a bit harder, and that will be my turn onto the Stormcast one. So Stormcast will gain another command point and go up to 2.
And I'm just going to move towards the corner, keeping the Prosecutor in range of stuff. Don't really see any need to get any closer while I have the range advantage. He'll throw his hammers at the Glaive Ray Stalkers again. 2 shots on 4s, rerolling 1s. 1 to reroll. Oh, he got a hit. Wounds on 4. No.
Yeah, and that's the end of the battle round, so I'll be rolling off again. And this time I get a 6. I guess I'll go first again. So my turn's going to be pretty simple. I'm going to gain a command point, and then my formation's just going to kind of wheel a little bit. Move up as a big group so I can charge all the Stormcast. But that will be my turn onto the Stormcast turn.
So I'm going to commit to the attack. We've moved up like this into a nice line. The Prosecutor has a 12-inch move, so he can fly all the way over to here. But then we will have the shooting phase first. So the Prosecutor he'll throw at the Glaive Ray Stalkers again because they're a bit more dangerous. Hitting on 4s, rerolling 1s. Oh, 2 hits. Wounding on 4s. Nope, nothing still. Into the charge phase, I'm going to charge with the Liberators first. So they need about a 5, but I'd like a little bit more. Or 6, I guess that's fine. So they finish their charge move like that. And next we'll do the Night-Questor. He gets a 7, that'll be enough. So he'll make it to there. And finally we have the Prosecutor. And he can roll 3d6 for his charge and add them all up. So he gets a total of 10, which is plenty. And he will come in like that. We'll start the fight with the Prosecutor because there's a danger the Chain Rasps could kill him with enough attacks. So he has 2 attacks, hitting on 3s in the box, but he can reroll 1s, so 2 hits, and wounding on 3s for 2.
5 plus saves. Made 1 and failed 1, so 1 Chain Rasp will die. I'm just going to take away this guy on the end. So my pick to go will be the Glaive Wraiths. These 2 Glaive Wraiths are just going to shuffle around a bit. They have a 2-inch weapon range, so they're both going to be in range of a Liberator. So they got 8 attacks from the Glaive Ray Stalkers, hitting on 4s and re-rolling misses because we're fighting a unit that charged. Get 6 hits in total, and then wounding on 3s. Ooh, 5 wounds.
4 plus saves, re-rolling 1s because I have shields like the Sequitors. Well, I've made 4 of them, so 1 Liberator takes a wound and it'll be that one. We'll do the Night-Questor next to see if I can cut down the number of Chain Rasps you're going to be hitting. 4 attacks hitting on 3s. That's 4 hits, and wounding on 3s, 2. But they're both 2 damage, so it's double 6.
5 plus saves, fail both, so that's 4 dead Chain Rasps. I'll take away those 2, and those 2. So I'm going to pick the Dreadblade Harrow to go next, and he's going to pile in around like that, so he can get within an inch of the Night-Questor and still end up at least as close to this guy as he was when he started, if not slightly closer. So the Dreadblade has 4 attacks on the Night-Questor, hitting on 3s. Well, and then the Horse has 2 attacks, hitting on 4s, so they both hit. Wounding on 5s, 2 wounds.
2 3 plus saves, re-rolling fails, I made them. And that leaves the Liberators left to go. This one will pile in a bit to attack the Glaive Ray Stalkers. They have 2 attacks each, hitting on 4s, 3, and wounding on 3s, 2.
4 plus save for the Glaive Wraiths. Oh, failed both, so that's 2 dead as well. I'll just take away these 2. Finally, the Chain Rasps get to go. The Dread Warden and this chap will fight the Liberators. This one here will fight the Night-Questor, and the 2 on the end will fight the Prosecutor. So 5 attacks on the Liberators, hitting on 4s, getting 3, and wounding on 4s, 2.
2 4 saves, re-rolling 1s, made 1 fail 1, so that will kill off the wounded guy.
Then 2 attacks on the Night-Questor, getting 1 hit, wounding on 4, it wounds.
3+3 rolling, yeah.
4 attacks on the Prosecutor, hitting on 4s, getting none at all. Onto the Battle Shock phase. I'm just going to spend a command point so I don't need to make a Battle Shock test for the Chain Rasp because they took 5 casualties. And that's the end of the battle round, so we'll be rolling off. Rolling off, I've got a 3.
1.
Well, I'm going to go first. So I gain a command point, go back up to 3, and in my movement phase, the Glaive Ray Stalkers are going to retreat 6 inches over the Liberators so we can charge, because we can fall back and charge because we've got the Drummer. And in the charge phase, they will charge, and they get to go 10 inches. And they're going to charge over here to attack the Prosecutor, and in the combat phase, I will pick them to fight first. So we have 4 attacks, hitting on 4s, re-rolling misses because we charge. We get 3 hits, and we wound on 3s. Ooh, getting 3 wounds.
Prosecutor also has a 4+ save. Failed 1, so he takes a wound. He's down to 1 wound, and then I get to pick. I think we'll do Knight-Questor next. He's going to put all his attacks on the Chain Rasps, so we've got 4 attacks hitting on 3s, which they all hit, and wounding on 3s. 3 wounds, one of which is a 6 for 2 damage.
So the 2 1 damage, saving on 5s. I saved 1, and then the 2 damage. Well, I saved that as well, so only 1 dead Chain Rasp. I'm going to take away this one. So I'm going to pick the Chain Rasps, the Dread Warden, and this guy can pile in around. So they can both attack the Liberators, and then the other 2 Chain Rasps can attack the Prosecutor. 4 attacks on the Liberators, hitting on 4s. Wow, yeah, nothing. And 4 on the Prosecutor. And we've got 2 hits on the Prosecutor, wounding on 4s, getting 1 wound.
4+ save. Nope.
Hey, we killed him.
So that is the Prosecutor killed.
So the first 4 attacks from the Liberators missed, but Will reminded me the Dread Warden's there, so he gets to attack. Oh, good old Dread Warden, he always comes through, gets a hit, and it wounds.
4+ save, rolling 1s, that's a 1, that's a 4. The Liberators will pile in like this. One of them can get to attack the Dreadblade Harrow, and the other 2 have to attack the Chain Rasps because they can't get close enough. So the 2 attacks on the Dreadblade Harrow, these hit on 3s because he's attacking a model with 5 or more wounds. So hitting on 3s, oh, still missed. And 4 attacks on the Chain Rasps on 4s, so 3 hits. Wounding on 4 3s, 2.
5+ saves, failed both, so 2 dead Chain Rasps. We'll just take away these 2. And finally the Dreadblade Harrow gets to go. So we're just going to go over here, and obviously he has to attack the Liberators. 4 attacks, hitting on 3s. 2 hits, wounding on 3s, 1 whole wound.
5+ save, rerolling 1 because rend -1. That's a 1, reroll it. Nope, that goes through, so somebody takes a wound.
Yep, and I'll do the horse as well. 2 attacks hitting on 4s. Oh, the horse is better than the rider. Wound on 5s, no.
So we'll put a wound on that one.
And then there's no Battle Shock tests for the Chain Rasp because they only took 3 casualties. And then it'll be on to the Stormcast turn.
We'll start with the Liberators. They'll pile in like this basically so I can get 2 on the Dreadblade Harrow. So we'll have 2 on the Dreadblade Harrow and 1 on the Chain Rasps. Attacks on the Dreadblade, hitting on 3s. That's 3 hits thanks to that. Wounding on 3s as well, 3.
4+ save. Well, can't make saves, it's down to 2 wounds.
And 2 attacks on the Chain Rasps on 4s, no, nothing.
So I'm going to do the Chain Rasps next, because they'll probably get killed by the Knight-Questor, and they'll put all their attacks on the Liberators. 5 attacks, hitting on 4s, getting 2, and wounding on 4s, getting 1.
4+ save, which I've made. I'll do the Night-Questor next, and thanks to his special rule, he can ignore the closest model when piling in and move up to 6 inches, as long as he gets within an inch of an enemy hero. Do exactly that. Yes, and then he'll attack the Dreadblade. 4 attacks, hitting on 3s, and re-rolling because he's attacking a character. 4 hits. Wounding on 3s. 3.
4+ saves. Yeah, he's dead. So the Dreadblade goes down, and the Glaive Race are unengaged, so they don't get to fight. And to be honest, I'm just going to call it there, because we're never going to get rid of the Night-Questor with 2 Chain Rasps and 2 Glaive Race. So we'll call that a Stormcast victory, and maybe set up for another game. So we've set up for round 2. The Stormcast have set up in pretty much exactly the same formation. And the only difference over here is that I've set the Glaive Race up in a little ranked formation, because they've got a 2-inch range from their holes. But the Nighthaunt gets to go first, so I'll gain a command point. The Chain Rasps and the Glaive Race are going to run, so I'll do that on camera. Chain Rasps get to go 2, I'm just going to turn that into a 6 with a command point. And the Glaive Race get to go 6 as well. So the Chain Rasps and the Glaive Race have moved up there 12 inches, and then the Dreadblade's going to follow around. He's going to hang back a little bit, so he's more than 3 inches away from the front line. But then it'll be on to the Stormcast turn.
Well, I all I really need to do is keep the Prosecutor in range of the Glaive Wraith Stalkers, so he'll do that. He's within 18 inches there, and they've just formed up a little shield wall in front of him. No need to move forward, so on to the shooting phase. So we'll throw some hammers at the Glaive Wraiths again. 2 shots hitting on 4s, rerolling 1s. That's a hit. And wounding on 4. Oh, it did a wound for at last.
Oh, yeah. 4 plus save. No, so a Glaive Wraith will die. So it will be on to the next battle round. Rolling off. Got a 3.
I got a 4. I'm still nice and far away, so I'm going to make the Nighthaunt go first.
Yeah, so I gain a command point. So I'm going to try being a bit more aggressive this time. We're just going to move up normally. And then the Chainmaster are going to declare a charge. Might as well try. Yeah, I'm going to re-roll that. Re-rolling both. And no, not getting a 9. The Dreadblade might as well go since he's out in front. Oh, he gets a 12. So he's going to go right onto the end. And the Glaive Wraiths, might as well try and charge as well. They're going to get a 9. That's what the Chainmaster needed. See, the Dreadblade gets to go. He gets to attack the Liberators. And he has 3 attacks, hitting on 3s. Ooh, they all hit. Wounding on 3s, 2 wounds.
5 plus saves, rerolling 1s. No, 4 and a 3. That's actually 4 damage in total. You've got to do the horse first, though.
Yeah, and then the horse. 2 attacks hitting on 4s. 1 hit. Wounds on a 5. Nope. So that's 2 dead Liberators.
So, well, we'll take out these 2 because they won't be able to hit him. But these 2 can, so that one will pile in. Hitting on 3s because he has 5 more wounds. 3. Wounding on 3s. 3.
4 plus save. Oh, we made all of them, right.
Prosecutor is within 3 inches, so I can pile him in. He can't get in range, but I will pile him in a little bit, just because then in my turn I might be able to arrange things a little bit more neatly, so we'll pile him in a little bit. So the Liberators lost 2, so they have to make a battle shock test. I'm just going to spend my command point to ignore it, because I don't want one of them running away.
And that's the end of the Nighthaunt turn, on to the Stormcast turn.
My movement phase, the Knight-Questor will just come over here, but I have something to do in the shooting phase because he can throw his hammers at the Dreadblade Harrow. 2 shots on 4s, re-rolling 1s, that's 1 hit. Wounds on 4, wounded.
4 plus save, made that as well.
On to the charge phase, the Knight-Questor will declare a charge. 4, not much, but it is enough, I think. We're not sure if that's exactly enough, but I am going to re-roll it anyway with my command point because I want him to get further round.
We get him to about here because everyone's bases are so big.
Yeah. 6 is better and enough. So that gets him round to there, but I'll pick the Liberators to fight first because otherwise they might get injured. They'll pile in round this way because then I can get the Prosecutor in later in the round. 4 attacks on 3s, 2 hits, wounding on 3s, 2 wounds.
4 plus saves, made one for everyone, down to 4 wounds. Oh, but the Dreadblade gets to go next. By the letter of the rules, you can pile in as long as you end up at least as close or closer to a model. So he was in base contact with these 2 Liberators, because he's got a 3-inch move, he can go through them, because he can just fly. So he'll end up on the other side of them. So he's got 4 attacks now, because he didn't charge, hitting on 3s. Yeah, they all hit. And wounding on 3s, 3 wounds.
5 plus saves for rolling 1s. 2, 2, 1, reroll that 1. Oh, okay, so there's 2 damage going through so far.
Yeah, and then the horse gets to attack, hitting on 4s and misses.
And we will take out this one, I think. Pick the Knight-Questor to fight. He'll pile in like that. 4 attacks hitting on 3s. They all hit. Wounding on 3s. 3, 2 of which are 6s.
So the 6 failed.
2 6.
So the 4 I failed then. And then I'll do the 2 6s. Saved 1. So he's down to 1 wound.
And I get to pick the Prosecutor because he's within 3. Pile in like that. 2 attacks hitting on 3s. Oh, 1. Oh yeah, re-rolling 1s though. Oh, still missed.
So it's the end of the battle round and we're rolling off. Rolling off. I win, and I'm definitely going to go first. So in my movement phase, the rest of my army is going to move up. The Glaive Wraiths and the Chain Rasps, and then the Dreadblade is going to fall back, but still be within 6 so that we can reroll any failed charges. On to the charge phase. So I'll start with the Chain Rasps because they're probably the most important ones. They get to go 6. That's going to be enough to get them in. And so they can all get in, and then the Glaive Wraiths are going to charge as well. And they get to go 5. So that is enough to let them finish their charge. So he'll end up in base contact with the Night-Questor, and these 2 behind are both within 2 inches of the Liberator and the Night-Questor. Well, I'm going to pick the Chain Rasp to fight first in the combat phase. The Dread Warden and the Chain Rasp behind him are both going to fight the Liberator, and then the other 8 Chain Rasps are going to attack the Prosecutor. So I'll do 5 attacks on the Liberator, hitting on 4s. 1 hit. Wounds on a 4. Big wounds.
4 plus save. Yes.
And 16 attacks on the Prosecutor, hitting on 4s. And we get 8 hits. Wounding on 4s. Getting 4 wounds.
4 plus save, which I failed too, so...
Yeah, and the Prosecutor goes down.
I will pick the Knight-Questor to fight, because he might be able to get rid of the Glaive Wraith Stalkers. And I'll pile in round a bit. Yes, 4 attacks on 3s. Oh, 1 hit. Wounds on 3. Oh, it did.
4 plus save. Made it. Then the Glaive Wraiths get to go, and they're just all going to go for the Liberator, because they're all in range of him. We've got 6 attacks. Hitting on 4s, rerolling misses. 3 misses, rerolling. 5 hits in total. Wounding on 3s. 4 wounds.
4 plus saves, rerolling 1s. Failed 2. He dies.
Yeah, final Liberator goes down. Now to the end of the Nighthaunt turn, on to the Stormcast turn.
Well, there's nothing I can do beyond fight, so the Knight-Questor will attack the Glaive Wraith Stalkers again. 4 attacks on 3s. It's 3 hits. Wounding on 3s, 2.
2 4 plus saves. Made both. So I'll pick the Glaive Wraiths to fight first, so they get out of the way of the Chain Rasps. And we've got 6 attacks, hitting on 4s. 4 hits. Wounding on 3s. 2 wounds.
3 plus saves, rerolling fails, made both.
So the Chain Rasps get to pile in as well. We can get 7 in range. And there's these 3 chaps at the back of this fight out, so we've got 7 including the Dreadwarden. And we've got 15 attacks, hitting on 4s. So we've got 8 hits. Wounding on 4s. Oh, 2.
2 3 plus saves, rerolling fails, double 4.
So that's the end of the battle round, and we're rolling off again. Rolling off.
Oh, I got a 4. I guess I'll go first and hit you first. I'll attack the Glaive Wraith Stalkers again, they're slightly better. 4 attacks on the Glaive Wraith, hitting on 3s, 2, and wounding on 3s, 1.
4 plus save. We failed. That's actually good for me, because now there's space for the Dreadblade to get in later. I'm going to take away this one, so now the Dreadblade can fit in that gap. I'll do the Dreadblades first, because they're the easy ones. 4 attacks hitting on 4s, 2 hits, and wounding on 3s, 1 wound.
3 plus rerolling, made it.
And then the Chain Rasps can pile in, and we can get everyone in within an inch. 21 attacks, hitting on 4s. And we only managed 7 hits, and we're wounding on 4s. 3.
3 plus rerolling, oh, there's a 2, rerolling.
Oh, it's down to 4! And then it's on to the Nighthaunt turn. So in my movement phase, the 2 remaining Glaive Wraiths are going to fall back, and then the Dreadblade's going to move over so he can get into charge. And in the charge phase, he will charge. He gets to go 7, that's easy enough. And I'll do the Glaive Wraiths as well, they're also going to charge. A 9, yeah. So both of those units can easily finish their charge and both engage the Night-Questor. And I'll do the Dreadblade Harrow first, because he's the most likely to do any damage, and he only has 1 wound left. 3 attacks hitting on 3s, 2 hits, wounding on 3s, 1 wound.
4 plus rerolling 1s and 2s, that's a 4, you're right.
And then the Horse hitting on 4s, 1 hit, wounds on a 5, no.
The Night-Questor will attack the Glaive Wraiths, because they haven't fought yet. 4 attacks on 3s, 3 hits, wounding on 3s, all 3, and one of them's a 6.
I'll do the 2 normal ones, saved both, and then the 6. Oh, didn't save that. So the 2 Glaive Wraiths die, and then the Chain Rasps get to go. 21 attacks, hitting on 4s. Add that in. What was it? 13 hits. Wounding on 4s. 8 wounds.
3 re-rolling fails. Failed 2. Re-rolls. Oh, there's another fail.
Down to 3. And that's the end of the battle round. So I'll be rolling off.
I rolled a 1.
And I got a 2. So I'll go first. So in my turn, the Dreadblade is actually going to retreat, so he can't get attacked by the Night-Questor, and he's going to maintain 6 inches for command abilities. And straight to the combat phase, the Chain Rasps all get to attack the Night-Questor. 21 attacks hitting on 4s. That's 14 hits. Wounding on 4s. 10 wounds.
3 plus saves, re-rolling fails. All failed for 4. 5. And the re-roll failed 2 more, down to 1 wound.
Down to 1.
And you get to hit back. 4 attacks on 3s, 3 hits. Wounding on 3s, all 3, and 1's a 6.
I'll use a red dice for the double damage. 5 plus save. Oh, I saved 1, but 3 dead Chain Rasps. Down to 7 Chain Rasps. Now we need to take a battle shock test, and on to the Stormcast turn.
We're just going to hit Chain Rasps again. 4 attacks on 3s, and only 2. Wounding on 3s, 1.
5 plus save. Nope. I'll take away that one. 13 attacks, hitting on 4s. That's 8 hits. Wounding on 4s. 4.
3 plus re-rolling, failed 1, re on the re-roll.
Oh,
into a 3, he's alright.
And that's the end of the battle round. So we're rolling off again.
All 5 are going to go first.
Knight-Questor on the chain rasps.
4 attacks on 3s, 3 hits. Wounding on 3s, 3.
5 plus. Made 2. 1 chain rasp goes down. We'll take away this chap. And there's 5 remaining. 11 attacks hitting on 4s. 6 hits. Wounding on 4s.
3 plus saves. Failed 1. Reroll it. Oh, yeah, he's still alive.
Then in the Nighthaunt turn, the Dreadblade's going to fly back over to where he was a few turns ago. And he's going to charge the Knight-Questor. And 9 is easy enough. He completes his charge, and I'm going to pick him to fight first. 3 attacks hitting on 3s. 1 hit. Wounds on a 3. Oh, it doesn't. And then the horse, 2 attacks on 4s. 2 hits. And then 5s. Nothing.
I put the Night-Questor's attacks on the Dreadblade because I don't want him to run away and charge again. 4 attacks on 3s. Oh, they all hit. Didn't need to reroll. Wounding on 3s. 666.
Yeah. 4 pluses. Made 2, but no. Dreadblade goes down. It's all down to the chain rasps. 11 attacks hitting on 4s. 6 hits. Wounding on 4s. 3 again.
3 plus saves rerolling. Failed 1. Reroll. Into a success.
Yep. And that's the end of the battle round. New battle round.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm going to go first. Same again, 11 attacks hitting on 4s, 8 hits, wounding on 4s, 4.
Saves rerolling, failed 1 again. There we go, that's the failure. And the Night-Questor is killed.
And that'll be a victory for the Nighthaunt. And I think we'll stop there, so we'll recap those games for you now. So that was our playthrough for issue 23 of Warhammer Age of Sigmar Mortal Realms. How did you think those games went?
Well, a massive oversimplification maybe, but in the first game I rolled quite well and you rolled really badly.
Yeah.
In the second game you rolled a lot better and I still didn't roll too badly, but it made the difference. I think it was similar to a previous issue where on one occasion you moved up and I got the charge and won, and on another occasion you got the charge and won.
Yeah, I mean, I did roll better in the second game, and the Dreadblade, I mean, he essentially killed half your army, so I did make mistakes in the first game. You kind of need to get the charge off, really. Whereas the issue is that if you move up too cautiously, you get hammers thrown at you, and I shouldn't have kept the Dreadblade Harrow close. Still getting used to the 3-inch engagement range.
With an open board with no terrain and one side having some sort of ranged advantage and the other not, the early game can be a bit cagey because I had no reason to advance.
I would say that I imagine in most games a situation like it at the end where you just have to surround the Night-Questor and pommel him to death with chain rasp probably wouldn't happen because you just have more units and spellcasters and stuff to get rid of him.
Well, and also, I don't know what battle round we were on to by the end, but most games would not go on that long.
It usually lasts about 5 or 6.
Yeah. Once again, he is the supposedly anti-character hero who's really good against tanking basic infantry because of his reroll the save.
Other than that, I guess it's nice that the magazine designers remember that I have units other than chain rasps and heroes. I got to use the Glaive-Wraiths, but again, with only 4 of them, they're not amazing.
I mean, we got to see their special rules like the re-rolling hits if they charge or are charged, and the fact they can retreat and still charge, but...
Yeah, I mean, I think the issue is that they have that many attacks, and the lack of rend, really, against Stormcast is what's going to be the issue. And the new Liberators and the Prosecutor. I think the issue with the Prosecutor is there's only 1 of him, so he looks a bit underwhelming. They usually come in units of 3. We all get 3, at least.
I think he actually did better than I was expecting. Apart from his thrown hammers, which killed 1 Nighthaunt into over 2 games, his ranged attacks are nice to have, but his real value is in having a really long move and being able to charge 3d6 inches. The problem is that in a game when there was no objectives to take, there was no real benefit to his manoeuvrability, he was just another guy in the line.
There are rules that allow you to sort of hold people back and then deploy them during the game as opposed to at the start, and then that would work really well with his 3d6 charge. You could put him near a hero or a wizard, and then they might be able to threaten wizards quite handily, actually. And they effectively get a couple of extra attacks in their shooting phase as well, if they're engaged.
I think this also ties into the fact that the battle plans we've had so far really haven't had that much variety. It's still been line up and charge across the board and kill everybody.
Yeah, it's still going to be like that for quite a while, unfortunately.
And on a board of this size, again, the manoeuvrability, it's just not been relevant yet.
Yeah, and the Liberators as well, they just come off as slightly worse Sequitors, really.
Pretty much.
I imagine they would cost fewer points to field if you were playing with a points game, but...
Well, the thing is, they were the original poster boy Stormcast from when Age of Sigmar first came out, and I'm sure at the time they were a bit more interesting, but the problem is, because the magazine's given us Sequitors, they just feel a bit lacklustre. They're just Sequitors with fewer rules.
Yeah, and slightly worse against normal characters and slightly better against heroes. Well, it puts them on par with the regular Sequitors. Sequitor. But the Sequitor still can put power to weapons or power to shields. So.
Wasn't expecting that much from them because without all the re-rolling to hits, and re-rolling saves and hitting worse and all this kind of thing, I was expecting a bit less, but no, they did all right. The big thing about them that we haven't even touched on so far in the magazine is that in a Stormcast army, they are a battle line unit, whereas Sequitors are not. You have to take, I believe, the Lord Arcanum in your army to make Sequitors a battle line unit.
Yeah.
So you can totally make Sequitors the basic line infantry of your army, but you have to go for a Sacrosanct army in order to make that. So that might be a reason to take Liberators instead of Sequitors. And the other thing I'd say about them is that because they were the first generation of Stormcast, I don't actually think they look as good as I prefer the newer Sacrosanct units with their robes, personally, and also I like the fact that some of the Sacrosanct Chamber units don't have their helmets on, so there's a bit more personality, whereas these guys are all basically identical, faceless warriors.
Nameless, faceless, weird mask-wearing guys with hammers, all fairly similar pose. I will say that they're much quicker to paint than Sacrosanct units, because you don't have to do loads of robes.
I like the look of the Prosecutor more, with the helmet crest and the
it's a really impressive looking unit. I was quite underwhelmed by his rules when I looked at them.
Yeah, I believe there is a multi-part kit you can get for them where you can give them, I think, javelins and tridents as alternate weapon options. I don't know what those do or whether they're any better than the hammers, but I think Liberators also have the option of taking 2 weapons instead of shields, and I think they have a choice of axes, swords and hammers as well, so there's quite a lot of variety you can get from them if you buy a full kit. As it is, we got 1 sprue from the Thunderstrike Brotherhood, I think it's called.
It was the original starter set for Age of Sigmar.
Yeah.
I don't think there's too much more to say about this game and this issue, so as always, if you like this content, please leave a like and subscribe, and leave any comments particularly about Liberators and Prosecutors, how you'd use them in a game, or if you play this game, if you did anything different, let us know. We've been the Tabletop Donkeys, and we'll see you in the next one.
Bye for now.